I'm Max Sterling, welcome to LarpGasm. Today I'm going to my most favorite LARP that I go to. It's a small airsoft LARP, it's Fallout based. It's still in its beta testing phase, but it is an awesome game. It's awesome for a couple reasons. One, we use private sites, it's mostly people's own property, so we don't have to worry about a lot of like camp rules or state park rules, which is great. I know everyone there, which is a plus. And they're all cool guys, and it's fairly small, maybe like 10 to 12 people maximum. So you get about 4, maybe 5 NPCs, the rest are PCs, you know, so it's a fairly even split. Sometimes it's flip-flopped, but it's a great number, you know, either way. Because of this, you don't have to belong to a clique, you don't have to belong to a tribe, a faith, a group, you don't have to bring friends, because all the PCs are in the same boat together. You're all on the same plot, the same module, everyone's on the same page. There's no downtime. You go, they run the mission or the module for you. One guy does the storytelling, and it is what it is. So it's fantastic in that aspect. A lot of LARPs sometimes you go to, there's a lot of downtime, you're sitting in the tavern, and if there's not a lot going on in-game, you may not have a lot to talk about, so it's really just sort of boring. Well, it doesn't happen at this game because it's a much smaller scale. There's a lot of good things to be said about large-scale LARPs, but sometimes small-scale LARPs are where it's at. And I happen to think that this is really the best LARP that I attend. It's certainly the LARP I have the most fun with. It's a genre I appreciate and love, which is post-apocalyptic, Fallout universe specifically. And it's airsoft, which isn't for everyone, but if you've never done an airsoft game, I suggest giving it a try. The competitive airsoft that's sort of like paintball matches is different than using the airsoft in a LARP. I don't think anyone ever wants to be in a gunfight. If you do, you probably have issues, but paintball is pretty good. But, you know, the guns are big, the ammo's goofy, whatever. You don't get the cyclic rates unless it's really high-end stuff. But airsoft guns, the guns look real. They fire just BBs so fast. It's probably the closest thing you're going to get to being in a live firefight. And unlike LARP, where you have your swords and stuff, and, you know, the orcs approach, and, you know, everyone takes their defense position, shield wall, you know, all this stuff, you have time to defend. It's not like that here. You're walking on the path and you hear stuff just tearing through the leaves. Well, those are bullets. And if you can take like 5 hits and someone's shooting full auto through the woods, and you can be dead like that. So it's pretty crazy. You really have to pay attention, and a lot of things in normal LARPs that they don't approve of, like diving, rolling, jumping behind trees and shit, that's commonplace for airsoft. I mean, when you hear those guns firing, you've got to take cover. There's no parrying against bullets. There's no way to, you know, block bullets with a shield. You have to drop, you have to crawl, you have to roll. You need to do whatever you have to do to get out of that line of fire and then get your gun out and start returning fire. So it's pretty wild. It's very fast paced. I mean, normal LARP is pretty physical, but airsoft LARP is very physical. That being said, I really fucked up my ankle the other day. I can hardly walk on it. I don't think it's broken, but there's definitely something wrong with it. I think it might be really sprained. So I iced it. I put on a, I don't know what they call them, like a compression thing that you lace up. And I pulled as tight as I could get so my foot's almost numb. I'm going to wear high boots, and hopefully it holds it all together for me, even though we're walking through the woods in snow and ice. I'm going to do my best to get some footage. I'm going to be using my secondary camera because it is a crappy day out, so the audio might not exist. I might have to just put some music over the audio, but I'll try to do what I can when I can, so you guys can get some footage and an idea of how this LARP is. And I hope you enjoy.
Estimated when we looked at pre-war maps, if you didn't stop running any problems, you had bridges over the Allegheny, probably do it in maybe 20 hours, but more realistically, it might take you closer to 3 days. So there's what. So there's 5 of you. You have 8 days worth of rations. So at some point make a note on that. About 8 days worth of food rations. If somebody dies, then maybe that gives you a couple extra days there. We don't have a lot of information. I mean, you've all been basically, some of you have been up topside more recently. So we don't know a whole lot. We know that some caravans have been moving through the area. They know that there's a friendly vault here. So we've gotten some initial contact with some caravans that may try to come out this way and help out with the food situation. With the break in the weather, we're hoping that maybe there's a caravan headed this way soon. We think it was more of a military vault, so it made it larger, larger population, more equipment. So we're really hopeful that we can find some good stuff in there. Any questions? Any requests? Stim packs.
Yeah.
Ain't no hesitation on that one this time.
can move that one. Move one back. The one that's falling over. Go back to your side.
There's gunfire from behind.
Oh, there's another one from behind. Whoa! Yeah.
No pressure. No pressure.
Bang! Whoa!
Down. There's another one right behind him. If it blows through, don't worry about it.
Hit my knee on
Okay.
So, now that I'm home from my Fallout LARP, I thought I'd just add, some post-game thoughts here. And basically, like I said before, I tried to videotape as much as I could, but most of the footage was off of people's camera phones or off of this little cheap camera I have. I didn't have a GoPro at the time. I do now, so hopefully when I go back to that game, I can get some better footage and get some of the roleplay interaction, because that was basically all combat that I was able to capture there. But hopefully you sort of get the spirit of things. The guy in the beginning of the video, they're sort of telling us, that we're leaving the vault. Some of us had already been out of the vault previously, so we had some different weapons and armor that we had gotten from previous games. Some of the people had not been out, so some of the costumes were just like jeans and sweaters and stuff, kind of keeping with theme, but also, it was kind of snowy / rainy / cold / hot that day. Typical Pennsylvania weather, which is, completely insane. So, we had a mix. Some people had, vault suits that they made and so on and so forth. And you can see from the video, sort of what people were wearing. But that's the cool thing about that game, is that, you can wear basically whatever you want, because in the game, there's, clean clothes, dirty clothes, distressed clothes, there's like raider outfits, there's armor, there's the vault suits, and there's, everything in between. So, it makes it cool because there are costume requirements, but basically, as long as it can pass for something, approximately 50s, you're good. But if you want to go all out and make it more distressed and stuff, depending on your character and the background, you can do whatever you want. So, you could go there in a poodle skirt and be good. You could go there as a guy in a white t-shirt, dark blue jeans and like a leather jacket, with slicked back hair and be fine. But if you wanted to like make power armor out of cardboard or something like that, or if you want to make a vault suit out of like blue coveralls, it's all good. So I really like that game. The gun I use for that, I don't know specifically the details of it, but it's a little, bullpup assault rifle. My character didn't have the skill to shoot it full auto at this point in time, so I had to just do semi-auto fire, which is kind of annoying. Previously, when I've gone, I've actually gotten to use full auto before, and that just, really sort of, levels the playing field. A lot of the NPCs, not a lot of costuming, because like I said, this game's still beta testing. A lot of the times when you see the guys just walking like they're idiots and we're just mowing them down, it's because they're different types of NPCs. Like some of them are robots, some of them are other things that don't necessarily have intelligence, so they just kind of walk. And this game covers, it's not like Fallout 4. This game covers the entire Fallout universe. So we're talking, Fallout 1 through, Fallout 4. So really you can encounter all kinds of things. So if you've just played Fallout 4, you may not understand a lot of the stuff that happens in this game. But if you're someone like me who has played, 1, 2, 3, 4, Fallout Brotherhood, and, basically anything else in the Fallout universe, then you'll do very well in this type of game. If you're just a casual, you would still appreciate the game. If you've never been involved in Fallout, though, which a lot of these guys, they come out to the game and they've never really been involved in Fallout, and I feel kind of bad for them because there's a lot of really cool references, or like, whenever they say, oh, there's a Deathclaw sort of milling about over here, like, to them, they don't get what a Deathclaw is because they've never played the game. And that's something where we're walking around and you have a pistol and a dagger on you. Don't fuck with the Deathclaw, okay? You want to sneak around that son of a bitch, but they just don't get that, which is sad. But something to consider, when you go to LARP is, sort of know the universe that you're playing in, because it'll add a lot more to the game for you. So these are just a couple final thoughts I had on the game. I wanted to, sort of throw in here at the end. If you have any questions, you can certainly leave them in the comments below. Please like the video and subscribe. If you want notifications of when the videos come out, click the little bell icon. You can also follow me on Twitter. As far as the shakiness, like I said, I apologize. We had a couple of different people filming. I'm limping through the woods trying to shoot, so, hopefully, all the shakiness didn't, give you a headache. In the future, I'll try to have a little bit more steady aim whenever I'm videotaping this stuff, or I'll try to just mount the camera someplace and capture the combat that way. So, but like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, adventure on. So, let me go ahead and play us out. Until next time, adventure on.